Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Tackle Productions. Today I bankrupt joined once again by Jimmy and Fluff.
Sure. What's up, people?
And today we are going over some new reveals. It will be, in this case, the five cards that was revealed for the Turtle School. And of course, if you went to San Diego Con, there are a couple more reveals there. I'll lightly talk about those cards because there is a unique effect with the Z battle card that was revealed that kind of involves those cards. We're not going to showcase them, but we'll talk about them, and maybe I'll throw them on the screen when we get to that point as well. But let's kind of get into the leader, Master Roshi. For starters, it's a world tournament. I think when it's a weekend, it's a world tournament, which I think is pretty cool. But Master Roshi, when this card is placed in your leader area, you immediately activate the Roshi School Training, which is kind of like the Android 21 Scheming, which is pretty cool. In a way, like it allows you to play. We'll talk about later, but it allows you to play battle cards on your opponent's field. That way, you can do stuff then. But when this card attacks you, a leader or unison, you draw one card and add one card from your life to your hand, so it helps you self-awaken. But if your life is 4 or less, or you have 3 or more Turtle School cards with energy cost 3 or more in play, you could draw 2 cards and then awaken. Now, keep in mind, I don't think we talked about these in the starter leaders. Just get out of the way. Awaken now has the subtext. It's not on the cards anymore, but it's like when you're activating Awaken, you're flipping your card over. So just because it doesn't say it, doesn't mean anything. It's part of the auto for Awaken, or the ability to Awaken. I can't remember where Awaken falls under. Activate main, activate battle, activate something.
It's an auto, or it's not an auto skill. It's I guess it's an activate main / battle skill.
Yeah,
really. I mean, it's really its own type of skill. But Awaken, Wish, and Z Awaken now have those caveats where when the skill is activated, it implies that the card is flipping over.
That the card is becoming the alternate version of the card. So in the case of Z Awakening, you're not doing any flipping. You're just pretty much evolving your leader. You're becoming an alternate version.
Yeah, it flips to its backside.
This card specifically sparked some talk within our with our local community, where people were asking, I guess they missed it on the other cards, of how do you flip this card over? Is this like a launch type list where you have to flip over using like combo cards or something like that? But I think this is better for Bandai and the future of card printing, because you don't have to have the flip this card over, but also it's kind of confusing to new players and even some existing players that don't like to read the rule book, which is everybody that plays this game. But one thing I thought was interesting about this that we haven't seen in the past leaders for a while now is that it has restrictions on what kind of cards you can attack. Not that you can't attack battle cards, but it says leader card or unison, which can be limiting in some ways, but also you get to self-awaken as well as drawing, which I really like. It kind of takes me back to like the early like set 1 through 4 leaders that had to specifically attack a leader to get a draw.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. Well, it's kind of like we've been through so many sets and didn't have that ability or have those words added there, and now all of a sudden it's there again. But once you do activate the Awaken, you now become Son Goku, Krillin, Yamcha, and Master Roshi united. There's a lot on this card. One first thing I want to point out, like I've said in the beginning of this video, this card is now a Son Goku, a Krillin, a Yamcha, a Master Roshi. It is a Saiyan, an Earthling, a World Tournament, a Turtle School, World. I mean, it's just a little bit of everything, which is pretty cool. So some of those old, World Tournament was Theme Booster 2, I think.
Theme Booster 2, yeah.
So some of those cards can work in this deck, which is pretty nice. I think there's a Yamcha or Goku, Decisive, something blows, right? Goku. It makes your opponent
Decisive blows. Yeah.
But I think it requires your leader to be a world martial art or green.
It does.
So something like that.
Yeah.
But when this card attacked, you draw 1 card. Then you use up to 1 green Turtle School with 5,000 combo power from your drop area in a combo with its skills negated for the turn. So this is pretty cool because early in the game you're going to combo stuff, put in your Z energy, and then use the Z energy to play other cards, putting those back into your drop area, which allows you to combo them again when you swing with this leader. So I like the idea of being able to cycle in this sense. It's pretty cool. Activate battle. You choose 1 Master Roshi's training in your battle area, placing it in his drop area for each Turtle School card with a different character's name in your Z energy. This card gains 5,000 power and double strike for the battle. That, in my opinion, is kind of like your If you're going for game, get out of the way. If you have to use it in a defensive play, go ahead.
That can be really strong. That could get you theoretically. It could get you up to 35,000 double strike on the lead, which is really strong. I mean, theoretically, the Turtle School characters are Goku, Yamcha, Krill, and Roshi. So
I think Tien as well.
It depends. It really does.
Isn't he Crane
Tien
School?
might be there.
He is Crane School, but I know there are Tien cards that were revealed. I can't remember what its tags were, because there was a period of time I thought he did train for Roshi as well. I might be wrong on that.
He did, but it was after the first World Martial Arts tournament.
Mm-hmm. Kind of talk about let's go to the field card first, because it's played when you activate when you put the leader in the leader area. Activate main. Once per turn, you place one card from your hand to the bottom of your deck. Play up to one green Turtle School with energy cost of 1 from your deck, and then shuffle your deck. What's great about this is that you could just put the 1-drop in your deck and then turn on just play that 1-drop without having to expend any energy, which is pretty nice, I think.
Certainly.
And then secondary, activate main once per turn. Play up to 2 Turtle School cards with energy cost 1 from your deck and or drop area and your opponent's battle area in rest mode, with their skills negated for the turn. Then you shuffle your deck. If you look through it, you can't play non-World Tournament or non-Turtle School battle cards for the turn. This is pretty interesting because every card we've seen so far has a combo of power. So unless there's a card where you can get later on the road that kind of benefits from your opponent having these cards, you're kind of in a way giving them Z energy unless you have a way of kind of clearing them out of the way, or like I said, or benefiting from your opponent having cards on their field.
This is also a little reminiscent of the Beerus and Champa decks, and slightly the King Vegeta deck, where you'd give them Saiyans. So we haven't seen all the cards in this archetype, so I'm really excited to see what is coming from this archetype. Are we getting benefits for KOing cards on the opponent's side of the field, or are we using that as a stepping stone to play our own cards?
There's a few cards from past sets that kind of get some decent synergy out of Master Roshi's training, such as Quad Coup from the draft box, where if your opponent has 4 or more battle cards in play, he cannot be negated, and he is also a quad strike. But cards like I think the card is called Villainous Counter-Strike, that if your opponent has a skillless battle card in play, you can choose your opponent's battle cards that add up to an energy cost of 4 and KO them, or warp them, one of the two. So there might be some synergies like that. It does buff those older cards slightly for this archetype in particular. But again, we haven't seen the full archetype, so we don't know why we're giving the opponent that, because I'm pretty sure they didn't design this card around the idea of you running Villainous Counter-Strike in the list.
So there's no official reveal on 2 or 3 of the cards. But they were shown at San Diego Con. They haven't been kind of like full shown like this yet. They are 20k battle cards that do kind of play for KOing your opponent's cards, if I recall correctly. And what benefits from those is that with the new Z battle card, Son Goku, Krillin, and Yamcha Turtle School Inheritors, deflect, so it's going to have to play pretty nice. But actually, if your opponent has 3 or more energy, you place 1 Turtle School card from your Z energies under drop area, and you play up to 1 green Turtle School card with 20,000 power that doesn't have Master Roshi, in which you haven't played this turn. From your deck with its keywords, skills negated for the turn, then you shuffle your deck afterwards. Kind of briefly talked about this in our last video. I love the way they're wording these cards. It's kind of like a program. Like you follow A, B, and C. It's a little bit confusing at first just because I'm not used to Bandai doing it this way. But these 20,000 power battle cards, one is a Son Goku, one is a Krillin, and one is a Yamcha, if I recall correctly, which all do have effects, kind of how Fluff was asking about KOing cards. I'll throw them on the screen, but they haven't been like revealed yet. They were just kind of on display. So got some pictures of them. They're pretty nice. I do like this Z battle card. Paying 3 to potentially play 2 cards isn't bad, in my opinion.
No, this really reminds me of paying 3 for the old Goku and Oob, depending on what the other cards do. Like, this could be a lot of value. And this is one of the first Z cards outside of the red SS4 Goku that we've seen that I actually do really like. And I can see this card being exceptionally strong in this archetype. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
kind of bouncing back to Master Roshi's training, the cards you can typically be giving to your opponent. These may be the only 3, but they did reveal a Son Goku's Train to Begin. Permanent, this card can't be KO'd by skills, so if you were to play it, your opponent can't pop up with skills, which is pretty nice. When this card is played, look up the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 green Turtle School card among them to your hand, then place the remaining cards at the bottom of the owner's deck in any order. Auto, when this card is using a combo from your battle area, it gets minus 4,000 combo power for the battle. So if you were to give your opponent battle cards, and they try to say the cards end up surviving or they negate and whatnot, and they try to combo this card off, I mean, if you're swinging a 15k leader to a 15k leader and they combo this card off, if you didn't want to take the damage, you're still comboing just 1 card off. It doesn't hurt you in this instance where you have to combo 2 cards off because you're only getting them a plus 1,000 combo cost, which is pretty nice.
This does kind of bring up the question, if you combo with your opponent's battle card, can you then place it into your Z energy?
If correct, you can, because all the Z energy skills I've seen is place the cards in the owner's drop area for the effect.
Correct. Yeah.
So
that's something to watch out for, is giving them this and then giving them free fodder essentially for their Z energy.
And the not counter, but the kind of the opposite to this card, Krillin Train to Begin. Once again, can't be KO'd, but instead of searching, this one just draws you a card. It maintains the same auto where if you were using a combo from the battle area, minus 4,000 combo. And then the third one they kind of revealed was also Yamcha's Train to Begin, which same permanent, but auto when this card is played, look up to 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 green Turtle Skull card with energy cost of 5 or less, and among them to your hand, then you shuffle your deck. So the difference between this one and the Goku is that the Goku is that you get to place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order, which I'm kind of curious about that, and what effects we're going to see that may my goodness. We'll go off the idea of like the bottom of your deck, because I know there was a Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. back in the day there were promos for the World Tournament stuff that were, if you have Vegeta on the bottom of your deck, you get to play it or something like that.
It seems to me like this is a balancing act between the two. Like the Yamcha searches you deeper, but you have to shuffle your entire deck. Where the Goku doesn't search as deep, but you just put the non-fetched cards on the bottom, but don't get to shuffle your deck as a result of it. So I don't know if it's necessarily a balancing act per se, or like in the instance that you're bringing up, if there is some intent to use this to like play a card from the bottom of the deck. We just don't know that until we see the entirety of the archetype.
So yeah, those are actually the Turtle School cards that we've been officially revealed so far. I'm liking it so far. I like the idea, the theme, but as everyone knows, I am the Archetype player, so
it seems interesting so far. Just of what we got, I really like the leader. I really like the field card, and I really like the Z battle card. Of course, these 1-drops aren't particularly colorful in their own little right, but as we get more of the archetype, I'm expecting to like this archetype more.
I just like it because Krillin looking bald as shit.
Yeah, he is.
So, with that being said, hope you all enjoyed today's video. Keep in mind, there's buttons down below, on the screen, somewhere there. Fluff, would you lead us out?
As always, read your cards, know your plays, let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to, and Fluff out.